Well, hello. Welcome back to Soul Search Sunday with Johnny Tiger. The date? Well, if you watched the earlier video, you already know the date, but just in case you only like the peaceful stuff and you skip over all my survival and tactical videos, it is May 29, 2022. So let's talk about salesmanship. Um, like most of you, I have bought a lot of things during my lifetime. And like some of you, I have sold a good deal of things during my lifetime. Now I feel a little bit of a like a phony, like a fake, doing this video because in some ways I am like the worst salesman in the world. That's why you're getting this video for free, by the way. That's why I'm not trying to sell this to you because, yeah, just suck at it. But I know why I am not good as a salesman, and I come to terms with that. Mostly because I am impatient and I tend to tell it as it is. And if you want to buy it, great. If you don't want to buy it, well, don't waste my time. That's kind of that's my salesmanship. I'm going to tell you this is a cool thing. I'm going to tell you what I know about it, and if you want it, then you get it. If you don't want it, you don't get it. Whatever. No, it's a so. On the other hand, even though I am not a very good salesman, it's important that I actually recognize that fact and I came to terms with it, so I can tailor my life and my work and my style around it. I will try to avoid situations where I would have to try to sell someone something. I will try to let people who are better at it handle that kind of work. And nowadays, especially when people get out of high school, get into university and college, what is the most common kind of work other than fast food joints? Well, most likely it's trying to sell something. Life insurance, uh, loan management, health product, beauty product, fitness product, so on and so on and so on. Every time you watch YouTube, you see a gazillion advertisement promising the newest way to lose weight, the newest way to build muscles. You drink this, take that, put this on your skin, put this on your hair. But because it is such a competitive market, there's so many people out there trying to sell you something. There's trying so many people trying to sell something to other people. It is vitally important to know your strengths and weakness. If you, your kids, your friend, your family member trying to get into this field, so you can recognize the problem before you suddenly find, hey, I've been trying to do this for 5 years, and honestly, I don't know why, but it's not working. Okay, I don't know why that is going to be problematic because you should know why. Today I'm going to give you two examples of what I would term poor salesmanship, and I'll give you two examples of good salesmanship. Because even though I'm a bad salesman myself, I have come across some really good ones in my life, and came across some really, really bad ones in my life, and I know how the game is played. And not just because you know how the game is played doesn't mean that you're going to be good at it. And sometimes it's just not you, right? I, I know how to, I know how to gut and clean a fish, for example. I know how that works. I even done it before. But that doesn't mean that I like it. It doesn't mean that I'm good at it because every time I do it, I'm making faces, I'm getting grossed out, I feel like I'm going to puke. So Yeah, I know how it works. I just not good at it, and I recognize that. Same with my salesmanship or lack of. So the first one, this one is nice and short. Oh yeah, you say that all the time. Some people say you always say you're going to keep it short. Okay, okay. This was Chinese New Year. A couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Chinese New Year. I was feeling really rather good. I was trying to be very generous that day. In another word, that day you can probably get me to donate to a lot of things. You can probably get me to rack up a lot of good karma by selling me something and telling me that it will help you through college. I was in that kind of a mood. It was one of those days. Yeah, I was thinking Chinese New Year. Okay, yay, we're New Year. Let's do some good things. Good things is going to happen. And the phone rang, and I picked up the phone, and right away I knew it was a telemarketer, because it said, "Hello, this is Mr. Tai." Well, honestly, it didn't sound like that. What it sounded like was a midget. I don't want to offend any little people, but you know what I mean. You pick up the phone and it sounds like someone who's very small, like you just picked up the phone and it's Mickey Mouse that's calling you. And I said yes. And in my head, I was thinking, okay, telemarketer, I'm not going to hang out on him today. It's Chinese New Year. And then the person said, I'm calling to see if you're interested in our accidental death insurance. Right away, that put me in a bad mood because that is such a taboo on Chinese New Year. It's just such a big no-no. It's like someone telling you there's no Santa Claus on Christmas. Like, okay, I know there's no Santa Claus, but telling me there's no Santa Claus or telling me uh, all that religious stuff is fake on Christmas would be really rude, right? Especially if I were a Christian or Catholic, that would be extremely rude. Okay, so in this case, I am Chinese, was Chinese New Year, and this person just committed one of the greatest taboo on Chinese New Year by mentioning death, and not just death, accidental death. And he's talking about me because he's asking me if I want to buy accidental death insurance. So I basically gave him a piece of my mind. I like, look, I understand that you're trying to do your job. I understand you're calling for a Bank of Montreal and all that. I understand this is what you do. But before you call someone, you need to at least have an understanding of this person or what day this may be. You just called a Chinese person on Chinese New Year and asked if you want accidental death insurance. He didn't get it. Yeah, being non-Chinese, he didn't get it. But this is my number one example of poor salesmanship. You need to know your geographic. You need to know your target, your client, your people, who you're trying to sell this to. What are they like? Because it could be something that they will buy. That you could have a very good product. You could have the best product in the world, but you trip over a taboo like that, and your sale just went down the drain before you even have a chance to give your sales pitch, right? So being a good salesman is not just to know your product. You need to know the people you're going to be talking to. You need to know who you're selling to. What do they like? What do they don't like? Maybe the people have some taboos and some words that you shouldn't mention. Okay? No? Maybe if they're Ukrainian, for example, you might not want to sell them that bottle of Russian made vodka right now. Okay? So that is the first thing. That I say it's very important to have a good salesmanship. You need to study and know your geographic, your people, because Being a good salesman is really a people gig. You need to know psychology. You need to know people. The second uh, example of poor salesmanship, this one was really, really sad because this one I actually was ready to hand over my credit card. Um, because this was a friend of a friend. Okay? This was a friend of a friend who just signed on to sell for this health product, this line of health product. I'm not going to name the health product just so I don't alienate people unnecessarily. But it's one of those health products that sells things you can wear, things you can put in water, things you can put around your neck, and then it's supposed to have all these magical properties that make your circulation better and take away high blood pressure and enhance your sex drive and enhance your sport performance and yada yada yada. Okay, it's one of the new age scientific thing. Okay, so uh, one of my good friends said to me, "Hey, my friend is selling this line of product and she's really struggling. Uh, can you take a look and maybe you can help her out? We know you're into fitness and stuff like that." So honestly, I went into this with the mindset that I was going to buy something. I was going to help her out. Now, I not only was I ready to buy from her to help her out, I was ready to maybe, if the product was good, was trustworthy, help her promote her business. So yeah, like I went into it ready to be as supportive as I could. But because I wanted it to be as honest as possible, I took a look at the website of the product, the line of products that she sent me. She sent me a link. This link, like most of these things we know, have a whole bunch of testimonies, lawyers, doctors, scientists, nuclear scientists, whatever, uh, testifying that this is the best product in the world, that is the newest of science, the public don't even know about it, and it's incredible and it works, and stuff like that. Um, so when I called her, I said, I just need three things from you. Okay, you don't need to give me your sales pitch. I just need three things from you because I looked at the website. I said, first, the website looks very impressive. You have a lot of doctor this and lawyer that giving the testimony and proving that this work. That's great. But can you send me the credential of three of these doctors? Okay, just three. I just need to know where were the doctors of? Whether like which university, which hospital, which year? Where in which specialty. I just need to know that these doctors actually exist, rather than that someone just sit at the headquarter HQ and typing in a whole bunch of doctors and lawyers on the website for show. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I need you to, in your own word, not the thing that is written on the website. I need you to, in your own word, explain to me how does this science work. Okay, so if you're selling this, I imagine that you know about it. So how does it work? Why does putting this on my wrist uh, enhance my stamina? Why would put this around my neck uh, make blood pressure go down? How does this work scientifically? And number three, I need you to send me a professional research or a link to where I can see that there was a professionally conducted research done on this. Because according to your website, this had been researched and highly secretive and all that stuff. So there must be research paper and result. So I want to see those. She said to me without a second thought, she said, "You know what? I think you're not ready for a product. So I can't sell to you because you don't have faith in our product. So maybe come back to me when you have more sincerity, you're more sincere about ready to believe in us." Wow. Like talk about a sale that was pretty much what's going to happen suddenly turned into a slap in the face. Honestly, at this point, when I asked these three questions, I knew she didn't have the answer. But at this point, if she just said something like, "Look, Johnny, I don't have the answer and the links you want, but give me a couple of hours. Let me go see what I can dig up." All she had to say was that. If she said that, I would say, "Okay, you know what? Don't worry about it. Now, how much is a headband? How much is a wristband? I'll buy them, and then you can send me the those information later." That's all she would have needed to say because I was ready. I wanted to help. I had my credit card in my hand. Yeah? But this whole thing about, well, maybe you should come back when you're ready to have faith in us. Huh. Well, okay. Uh, the heck with you then. So, the second very important thing about being a good salesman is you need to put down your ego. Okay, when you don't know something, it is okay to say you don't know. When you don't have the information, it is okay to say, "Hey, I don't have those information, but I'm perfectly willing to go find them for you because I believe in my product and I am going to go research this right now." It is okay. It is okay to admit that you might have missed a few lectures. It is possible that you might have forgotten to ask a couple of those questions yourself. It is okay to admit that you don't know, rather than trying to get defensive and self-righteous and shifting the blame onto the consumer and say, "Well, I guess you're just not ready for our product, so screw you." Yeah, doesn't work that way. Sorry. So put down your ego, put down your insecurity. When people ask you questions, as consumers, they have the right to ask those questions, and you need to be okay with that. Otherwise, you will never be a good salesman. So now we have two examples of poor salesmanship that I came across. Now I will give you two examples of good ones. Now, when I say good, that doesn't mean that they'll succeed all the time, because sometimes the stars just don't align, right? But sometimes they do, and more often than not, they will. Right? So I had the privilege or misfortune, depending on how you look at it, to know this sales lady for Cutco knife. Uh, if you guys go back on my channel far enough, uh, you will see, actually, go to the playlist where say who is Johnny Tiger, what does he do, and in one of the Johnny Tiger episode in there, on that playlist, there's a Cutco knife demonstration, and that is the same incident I will be talking about here. So I knew this lady who was like the one of the best sales lady here in Vancouver area. I always got an award, always got her bonus, and sold a lot of Cutco knives. I remember when she tried to sell me Cutco knives, which is a very difficult task because I know knives. I have been buying knives my whole life. It's hard to pull a fast one over me when it comes to knife. So I think I was one of the hardest sell for her, at least in her view, in her eyes. I was one of the more demanding. I wanted to know all the ins and outs, material of the hilt, material of the metal. Uh, why is it made of that material? How does that make it superior to other material, etc., etc. Um, but let me backtrack a bit. The day when she gave me the sales pitch, she showed up and she brought me an apple pie, still warm. It's like still warm apple pie. It wasn't anything special like homemade or anything, but she brought me an apple pie from McDonald's. Now, this was a very small gesture, like so small, like the apple pie is like $1 or something like that, right? Okay, but this was a cold winter day. This was like mid-November. Having someone showing up at my door with a still warm apple pie, I can't even beginning to describe that little bit of warm and fuzzy feeling it put in my heart. It just brightened my day when that happened. Okay, so that is number one. It put me in an extremely good mood to begin with. Second, second, this little gesture, this little apple pie that barely cost $1, kind of obligated me in a way because in my culture, not obviously not every Chinese person is going to be gracious and appreciative like this, but in my culture, traditionally, and for me personally, this is a big deal. When I eat someone else's food, when someone gives me food, uh, then this person deserves a bit of consideration. Okay, so yeah, now that you guys know this, you can start sending food my way, and you can get special consideration. So anyway, uh, the fact that she brought an apple pie made me feel good inside, and made me feel okay. Well, she did bring food, so maybe it's okay to sit down and listen to her sales pitch. So she went through the whole motion of sales. Anyone of you who's seen the Cutco sales before, you know how this goes. They cut all kind of material, rope and stuff like that with a knife and show you how cool the knife is and tell you about the lifetime warranty and free maintenance if you ever need the knife sharpened. Yeah, I know enough about that shit. I can probably sell Cutco myself. Anyway, so I suffered through the whole sales pitch. Um, and then I asked her, I said, um, tell you what, I would like you to do this sales pitch again, and I would like to have this on video of you and I comparing your knife against some of the knives I have, and let's see if your knives really can measure up. And you know what? She right away said, sure, no problem. That's cool. That's great. I could tell she was uncomfortable. I could tell that she knew that this is going to be a hard sale, that she may be on video and shown to the public on YouTube and end up not making a sale. She may be making a fool of herself, but she did not even hesitate. That's how much she believed in her product, is how much she believed in her ability to sell her product. So we set a date and we made the video that I mentioned that in that playlist, Who is Johnny Tiger? One of the Johnny Tiger episodes, uh, that's a Cutco knife demonstration where we compared Cutco to K-Bar, to Cold Steel, to Schrade. uh, I gave her a pretty hard run. In the end, even though during the demonstration she failed to prove that Cutco was any better than my other knives, I made about $400 worth of purchase. because here was someone who was so uh, who had so much conviction in her product that I she let me put her through the ringer. She willing to be on video, being publicized, just to show this. Okay, I in the end it was her conviction that made me feel okay. Let's help her out. And honestly, it was good. It was the right decision, and I knew what I was doing because I've known. She didn't know this, but I've known and used Cutco product for years, so I knew their product. So in this case, we see a good salesman that have good salesmanship need to be prepared to back up their product, even though they know that this might be a waste of time, even when they know that this may be a bad idea, when they know that this may come back and bite themselves in the butt. This is something you need to have. If you want to be a good salesman, you need to have the conviction enough so you back up your product, even in the face of something really out of the ordinary. And don't forget that apple pie, that extra little touch. Go out of your way to make your client, your potential client, feel comfortable and warm and fuzzy inside. That's very important. That's a very good touch. Uh, Last but not least, one of my really good friend uh, used to sell. We used to be a salesman for this line of protein shake called Body by Vi. Really, really good product. Let me tell you this. I personally don't use it because it is kind of expensive, but it is some crazy good stuff. Body by Vi, like one of the best protein shake that I've tried. I'm not going to try to sell it to you. I'm not affiliated, but I'm just telling you. Um, so this friend came to me and say, "Hey, you know I'm selling for uh, selling the Body by Vi, right? Would you want any?" And I'm like, nah, man, I don't like, want to spend all that money, and I don't even know if it's going to work. And he's like, no, 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 no. I mean, no, no, sorry, I didn't mean that. I want to sell you them. I mean, would you like to try some? I got a whole case here that I paid for already. You're welcome to take them home. And the only reason that I'm doing this for you it's because, well, no, you are my best buddy. And I tried this. I use this myself. And this really, really works. And I want you to know what this is like. Long story short, I took it home, I tried it, and it did work as claimed. It's it's some amazing stuff. But in the end, I didn't buy anymore. I didn't order anymore because like I said, it's kind of on the expensive side, and I've always been of the opinion if I need to take some special supplement or drink some special shake to stay in martial art, then I am not meant to stay in martial art. If I stay in martial art and fighting, I want it to be my uh, God-given body, my own power, not because of whatever I'm drinking or taking. I'm stubborn that way. But in the end, even though I did not uh, buy more from him, I can tell you, he actually gained a lot more out of this experience because I became a firm believer of Body by Vi. I started telling people, just like I tell you now, it works. It's one of the best protein shakes that I've tried. If you don't mind the like the $5 price tag, I don't know how much it is now, but back then it was like $5 a bottle. Um, it is some amazing stuff. So even though I did not buy it myself, I was very quick to spread the word to other people, and his business definitely benefited from that. So in this case, again, we're seeing that a good salesman need to have such conviction in their product that they are willing to give it to you for free just so you know that it works. In this case, even though they did not directly benefit from me monetarily, they benefit from me by spreading the gossip for them. So sometimes you got to think, like you got to play the long game. Even though this person didn't buy your product, if you conduct yourself very, very well during the sale, even if you didn't make a sale, if you conduct yourself really, really well, then this person may do you more good in the long run. So anyway, like I said, these are just some of the things I picked up with regarding to salesmanship and things I experienced. Take it or leave it. It's up to you. Thank you for checking out today's Soul Search Sunday. We'll be back again tomorrow from some Music Monday. For now, have a good night.